These are those folks. While we're waiting for the audience to finish watching the movie.
Yeah, there's a couple extra ones up there that I saw.
This is a way of saying Happy New Year in with films instead of like parades, which Japan used to do that till the Meiji era, which they changed everything up. Yeah, it's all for people who just bought the tickets, and unfortunately, ironically, the volunteers who did the thing, yeah, you see volunteers, but it's tri-tip. It looks like sushi, but in my eyes, it's sushi. But my camera said, "Oh, it's beef raw. It's rare beef, not." But yeah, this is pig. Lots of pig.
All of our plates are over on that side.
Let's want to start with desserts first?
It's turkey or tofu. Yeah, it's sushi. What's that?
Hey, nice job.
I would just cry. I cry watching that stuff that you sent us. You get really pissed off and then you cry, right?
I figured these might be some old folks. This might be the sanseis or I assume there were sanseis. Yeah.
On an everyday basis, you guys.
Here we go. Here we go.
But at the commission, there they are, government reps, right? They could really let loose their anger and their feet, because otherwise it's like lose the MVP.
Yeah. You see this. Oh shit. They're pretty pissed. Unlike the Shin ones, not the Shin ones, but the original ones. The original ones were pretty pissed off.
Yes, December. Yeah, I'll stick around a bit. I'll do a quick, scan about, and then my legs hurts. Went to this Chinese New Year parade. It was so painful. I think it's still going on for wow, it go on for one more hour or something like that. Ugh, my legs hurts. So it's all this is a book. It's a DVD.
Alright. Oh, there's the refreshers. Well, it's like a fun.
So thank you very much for joining us for the filmmakers reception. I'd like to thank also the Nichi Choral Ensemble. Can we have another round of applause for that? And earlier you heard musicians Wes Wenten, and Nao Matsuzawa. So thank you very much too.
They'll do another set later.
Oh, they're doing another set later? Do you want me to go? Oh, no, did I upcut them? All right, so really quickly then, we'd like to have all the filmmakers join us for a quick Q&A, and so that people who weren't around to see your film have a chance to see you and say hi to you. So all the filmmakers, please join me up here. So that would be Ryan, you, Lucy and Dawn, Holly, Sharon, who else is here still?
Sharon and Brian.
Come on up. No. So this is going to be really informal and really quick. It's been a long night and it's still Saturday for the young people, but kind of late for us old folks, huh? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass the mic around, and I want each of you to give me your name, the name of your film, and one line about what the film's about, because not everybody has been around all day long.
Thank you. My name is Holly Yasui, and the name of my film is Never Give Up, Minoru Yasui and the Fight for Justice. And that is my one sentence. I think it says it. My name is Lucy Ostrander. My film with my co-producer and co-director of Proof of Loyalty. And it's about Kazuo Yamane and the Nisei soldiers of Hawaii. And we tell the story within the larger context of the history of the Japanese in Hawaii.
I'm Don Sellers.
Aloha, I'm Ryan Kawamoto from Hawaii, and my film, which I wrote and directed with the Japanese Cultural Center of Hawaii, is called Voices Behind Barbed Wire, Stories of Hawaii, about the incarceration stories of Hawaii Island.
Any other filmmakers in our audience? Okay, so here are the two questions I'm going to pose for you, sort of round robin, okay? And then afterwards, if people would like to come up and talk to the filmmakers personally, please feel free to do that, and there's refreshments as well. So here are the two questions. What were the surprising comments you've received about your film from viewers? And the other question is, what do you hope to accomplish with your film, okay? So, Steve, I want you to introduce yourself, give us the name of your film, and what it's about, and then you answer the questions first. Okay, so go ahead.
My name is Steve Pagano, and the film I had was called Speaking Out for Justice. And what I did was basically taking the testifiers and trying to craft a story about the camp, and particularly the part about their difficulty or refusal to talk about it, which a lot of the films today alluded to, and how they compared the shame with rape victims, and people don't go around talking about that.
Okay, so Steve, we have another newcomer here. So I want you to introduce yourself, tell us the name of your film, and what it's about.
Okay, my name is Sharon Yamato. My film was called Moving Walls, and it was basically about the non-Japanese who live around the camp, who were in Hartland, Wyoming, who were the beneficiaries of the camp because they got the barracks that the Japanese were housed in during the war, and they used them in very positive ways. So I was trying to bridge the white and the Japanese communities in Wyoming. And I hope, they're at least, aware of each other now.
Okay, so let's start on your end, Steve. So Steve, tell me, what were some of the more surprising comments you've heard from people who viewed your film?
I didn't know they were so angry. Particularly the Yonsei generation. Who never saw their parents or grandparents, particularly. Of course, maybe they never even met their grandparents, but that. I didn't know that they were so angry, there was so much pain, and now I understand a little bit why they never talked about it.
Okay, good. Ryan, your film about the Hawaiian camps. Tell us what were some of the most surprising things you heard about that experience.
Well, generally when we show this films of the subject matter, it's sort of like, whoa, we didn't know there was any internment camps in Hawaii. And that's usually the #1 surprise comment I always get. Even people who live there don't know.
Don and Lucy?
Our film has to do with Hawaii before the war, during the war, and then a little bit after the war. And the comment that surprises me the most is how many of the viewers from Hawaii had no idea about the discriminatory English language school system that existed in Hawaii. There was a bicameral, bifurcated public school system that was meant to try to keep the people of color in one part of the school system and the Howleys in another part of the school system. And a lot of people in Hawaii have no concept that this actually took place.
Lucy?
The same.
The same question, but if you have a different answer, that's okay.
No, I think when we showed it in Hawaii, at the Hawaii International Film Festival, yeah, it's just so many people came up to us afterwards and said, we had no idea about this history.
Okay. Holly?
I think this is going to be an ongoing theme. I was surprised that among the Japanese American community, how many people did not know Tenori Suiwa. Because from my point of view, it was traveling all over the country all the time in a different city every day for years and years. So it was surprising to me that the Japanese American community did not know.
From the Japanese Americans, the common response is, I didn't know that there were so many barracks around. And from the non-Japanese Americans, these are the ones I really like. Because surprisingly, they really like the film, which is shocking to me, because it's not exactly picturing them in the most favorable light, but I think they're happy to be given the attention. So I'm glad that was accomplished in some ways, because they seem to like it. So.
Okay, so last question was Sharon, and going to go back down the line again. So what do you hope to accomplish with your film, Sharon?
Well, that's an easy one. No, because here's the thing. In Heart Mountain, Wyoming, I don't know if any of you have ever been there. It's in the middle of nowhere, and there are no Japanese there except just around, well, pilgrimage time. Then they flood in. So anyway, and the Caucasians who live there have very little relationship with the Heart Mountain, Wyoming Interpretive Center, which you think that, they may want to go visit every once in a while. So I really wanted to open up that dialogue, as I said earlier, and just to have them know that we have us as Japanese Americans know that they exist and see what they're thinking, and as Caucasians to know that there was a concentration camp, which they don't like to refer to it as, but there was a concentration camp right in there. They know that, but they're just to know a little more about it.
Holly, what do you hope to accomplish with your film?
I'd like for the story, because it is kind of a family story, to give a new light on the whole issue, which has been shown for many years. And that I really think that if people can really understand the story on an emotional and personal level as well as intellectually, I think they will be with us. And so that's my hope that we can accomplish, is to basically tell the story, our stories, all of our stories, in such a way that people understand that we are all one big family. Whether they like it or not, and they fight among themselves, but that is something that is, I'm hoping, nothing
Great.
engendered.
Lucy, Don.
We have two themes that run throughout our film, which I think are particularly timely for the political situation we're living in right now in this country. And that's to emphasize the importance of diversity and the importance of language of immigrants. And so I hope that can be absorbed by the people who see this film and learn something.
Don, do you have anything you want to add?
The only thing that I would add is that I think that this very rich history of our 50th state and the contribution that those of Japanese ancestry made to that state is a history which is very little known on the mainland. And I would hope that the people on the mainland would understand what an amazing state it is and how unusual it is, and how it may be the state that leads the way for the future of the country.
Well, I don't think you'll get any argument from Ryan on that, Ryan.
What a great answer. I echo that in my remark, but I'll also add that I think for these series of films that are coming out, there's 3 others that will be paired with this. The goal is really education for the next generation as well. We hope to get these in every school in Hawaii so that every student in Hawaii can hopefully learn this story so that we do not repeat these mistakes, especially, as you pointed out, in these very troubled political times.
Oh, hold on, Holly wants to interject.
As regards Hawaii, I think it's very important to know that in the Muslim ban, the state of Hawaii was really is in the forefront of basically putting a stay on it, and the judges in Hawaii are...
It's in this film.
Yeah, I mean, this is, so, I mean, I think we owe a thanks to the state of Hawaii for that.
What was the question?
What do you hope to accomplish with your film?
Well, I even myself, seeing the testimonies, every time I look at them, I learn a new story. Find another, oh, I didn't know that happened to them. How could they be so cruel, and how much loss, how much pain they had to have. And I think that's, just to get that out, I mean, talking to some of you people tonight, they were saying like, well, I've never seen anything like that. And I think that's on us to try to get that out to everyone. So there's that clip you saw tonight's on YouTube. It's called Speaking Out for Justice. So go to it and send that link out to who's in your contact box.
Okay, and don't forget to stop repeating history too, that Don Tamaki told us about a little earlier. So I want to thank. Oh, that's right. Before you go, we have a little presentation from you from Supervisor Eric Marr here from San Francisco. So.
Thank you. I'm actually a recovering politician right now, and none of the elected officials or the politicians could make it. But Jane Kim, my colleague from the Board of Supervisors, has put these together with all of the 11 members of San Francisco Board of Supervisors. And I'm just going to hand this to you. Yeah, that's helpful.
I'll be your mic stand.
But I just wanted to say on behalf of the City and County of San Francisco, what an amazing range of films from the gritty grassroots NCRR-generated films from LA to up-to-date films about the relevance of Minyasui's legacy to our communities and our struggles today, and everything in between. Pretty amazing. And I know Abby Ginsburg and Ken Schneider aren't here, but Ken's my neighbor, so I could easily get him the proclamation. But thank you so much for the great work, and to the Nichi Bay Foundation for a great festival as well. Thank you.
Look at that cotton and less, man.
Thank you very much.
The whole thing? Well, the
And
whole thing.
it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Kenji Taguma, who has been sleep deprived now for more than 48 hours. So Kenji is the brainchild of the film festival, also the driving force behind Nichi Bay Foundation, and we owe him a great deal of credit and gratitude for continuing his tireless work with the Japanese American community. Kenji.
Well, everyone wants to go home, right? There's more food downstairs. There's stuff for sale here, including the poster. But on behalf of the Nichi Bay Foundation, I really want to thank everybody, including all our volunteers, our sponsors, our especially our filmmakers for coming out today. This is our 7th annual event. Sharon, Dawn, and Lucy have been to more events before. Sharon, when we were at Nihonmachi Little Friends when we were small, we started at a very humble space in the Union Bank community room, which is made for 40, and we fit 100 people in there. And then we went to Nihonmachi Little Friends, and here we've been here for the last 4 years? 4 years, I believe. So we're really happy with staying at New People Cinema. It's a beautiful facility, and we thank all of you for helping to bring this here. We started Films of Remembrance as a complement to Day of Remembrance because we thought, well, Day of Remembrance gets people in, it's a free event, gets people through the door, and if they want to find out more about specific issues and get a deeper understanding of these issues and these new stories like the moving malls, the barracks, they could come to Films of Remembrance to get that deeper understanding. And we also saw that filmmakers put a lot of work into their movies, and at the time there was no venue. CamFest wasn't showing camp films until, last year they started, we had some conflict that we worked out, but sharing films and all. So I think it's important to keep making these films. If there's any way that we can help support you, we do have the venue. I'm sure I'm going to hear from you whenever you make another film, but that's great. Keep doing what you do and bringing out these little-known stories. They're all powerful films. We're really proud to have this strong selection of 10 films. We had 10 films last year. I think when we were at Little Friends, we had like 5 films. So we've grown, and definitely there's been more support. And it's actually turned into somewhat of a fundraiser for our Wayne Maeda Education Fund, which is important for a founding board member and my mentor. I didn't enter Wayne's class as a lost student. I would have probably dropped out of college, no joke, because I was a failed business major, couldn't pass business calculus with my life depending on it, and stumbled into Asian American Studies class and haven't left that ever since. So I think it's important to bring out these stories, and what we do, our mission is to keep the community connected, informed, and empowered, and that comes in any form when we do book reviews, film, bring out films and all. But anyways, I'd like to thank all the sponsors. I think Kiyomi already did that, so I don't want to rehash everything. But all of our performers, all of our food donors, again, especially our committee. Some are not here, Kristen Sasaki, and I don't know where Chizu is. Chizu Mori. Downstairs, we watched a lot of film. And these are the ones that did the best of the best. Especially want to thank a couple of people. First of all, Joe Shiraki, our showrunner, for the past 4 years. Jill is the McCartney to my Lennon or whatever. Ever since we brought it here, I think Jose has been instrumental in helping to shape the program and taking care of last minute issues and keeping me calm. So Jill, thank you. And then Lindsay Yamamoto right here basically did all the operations, all our ticketing and documenting everything and making sure everybody got here. Lindsay. And then my staff, starting with my managing editor, Heather Horiuchi. Heather is here. Okay. She's been our managing editor since the beginning. And Tomo Hirai, who's up here. And then Edith Horner, our accounting. I don't think she's here. But anyways, with all we do, we do 28 issues, some large, like the Japanese Culture Guide or the Obon issue. It's like putting 28 programs on a year. Plus we do monumental things like Angel Island Pilgrimage or Films of Remembrance, Soying Tofu Festival, and all these other events. But we only have really the equivalent of 4 full-time staff members, and which I think is really the most productive staff in Japantown. But we couldn't do it without our board, because our board volunteers to do a lot of help, a lot of things as well. Al Matsui making kalua cabbage today. Kiyomi Takeda, our board chair, even though she's British, made the Hawaii butter mochi, and especially Greg Inaba, we don't get to see him because he's always catering, but Greg and the Nakayoshi crew for doing a lot of the catering for all of our events. And Wesley Unten from Hawaii, oh, there you are, who always provides us entertainment. We make him watch films, and yeah, anyways, we have a great board and staff, and I just want to show my appreciation. It's not just me. We're going a little over 9 years since we started this little venture of a nonprofit community newspaper that's never been done. We had no model. That Monday that we were launching it Wednesday, I had no idea how to fill out all these post office forms. And I didn't think I was going to get out of that post office after I was there for 5 hours. But it's really been a groundswell of community support. And you know, a lot of you longtime sponsors, Alan Okamoto, I see you there. He's always obligated because he was a delivery boy. And I don't let him forget that. But anyways, in my family, Mark and Alice, yeah, Madi, my sister, who's volunteered to do tickets every year. Anyways, enough said about that, but we just want to thank you all for coming here and for helping us to build. And Greg Inaba for the food. Huh?
There's lots to take some home.
Okay, there's a lot more food downstairs, so you can take some home as well. But anyways, for our filmmakers, thank you for inspiring us, for educating us, for providing us hope. And we look forward to what you do in the future. Please keep in touch. We're, want to look at ways that we can better support them since we have this momentum, this vehicle. I can't give you money, but who knows? Maybe we can do that someday. Anyways, so filmmakers past and present. I think Claudia Katayanagi is here as well. And yeah, and Satsuki Ina, who's like our columnist, a filmmaker, MC, Diane Fukami, who's the moderators. Awesome job by moderators. Dan's here, Satsuki's here. I don't know where Frank Abe is. Frank Abe, thank you for coming all the way from Seattle to do this. And of course, Yuriko Gamo Romer, Jan Yanahiro, and Jana Katsuyama. But thank you for such a warm response today. And drive home safely, but drink some wine. Oh, okay. Am I doing that or?
Yeah, they can, you guys can. Oh, they're getting.
Yeah, take a picture of this. Kiyomi?
Sorry.
We good? Yeah. Oh, wait. Done? Wait. Oh, hey.
Oh, wait. Let me go.
Nice job, what's these? Okay,
yeah.
How's it going? How's your film going?
I'm on my 5th pass.
I know. My sympathy.
Much better.
That's that tedious part.
Yeah. Okay, well that's good though. I have my tickets for that. Oh, okay. Okay, all right.
Because I'm chicken out here. Yeah. There's a real lot of folks getting tired.
Hey, so all those sign
I
up.
don't want to take a lot full home, so I'm already full. Yeah. So.